be turned off from the records. This isn't the mismatch it looks like on paper. Augustus is always... Everyone thought he would do just that against fellow contender Javier Harrigue. In front of his local fans, Alex found himself in trouble against the soon-to-be world champ. Trujillo had to overcome cuts and absorb punishment to rally back. A frenzied finish had Alex looking good, but the tight decision would go against him. We had to wait until last August to see him back in action. This time, there was no denying Alex. He hurt Luis Villalta in the second round and knocked him out in the third. It was a dominating performance. On the heels of... So after 56 wars, all the travel... His last 5 shows the periods of inactivity we've been talking about. Also 6 with 14 shorts, his last 5.
Good luck to you.
First round knockouts, Alex Trujillo. I'm sure he's never registered a...
Has fought so many. Augustus, it's the opposite, Joe. The easy ones.
Yeah, man, he's fought everybody from this entire generation.
That's a nice little point there. I think Trujillo early on has shown you what he's trying to do. He's going to try to control the outside with his jab and bang that left hook to the body when he can. Take away some of that head movement, that herky-jerky movement of Augustus. But Augustus is very game, and when he wants to, his problem is sometimes he'll go defensive a little too long without firing back. Gives you a thought, and then you can get out of town before he comes back. But right now, early on, I give up, and he's moving those hands as much as he's moving the head. See, there's, he can let his opponent then figure this guy out now. He thought what he wanted to do. Now he's got to deal with what Augustus
told us that he wanted to come out to what he has done.
Oh, he sure has. Not have to be in the hits all the time with Augustus, at least not early on. And when he can, he'd like to establish that left hook inside to the body and the head. That's a good punch for Trujillo.
Trading here with left hands in the final moments here of this first round.
But Trujillo's having trouble here with Augustus.
Emanuel Augustus. Boy, is he, Teddy.
Well, Augustus is throwing the right hand inside that left hook of Trujillo.
Excited for our main event here. One, the 9th ranked lightweight in the World Magazine.
A little bit, and Augustus is coming in very high from that first thing that a less experienced fighter would not see. Might be in certain things. He doesn't miss too much. Trujillo is look. He started sliding that right hand that's placed at the right time. Could be a real enemy for a left hook. Good round again for Augustus so far.
Very good start. Comes
a little too far away. You get an experienced guy like Augustus, he'll beat him with that right hand. It's going to get there faster. It's straight.
Alex Trujillo ineffective in this second round, landing just 2 punches according to comp in the first minute 20 of this second round.
You know what, Augustus Trujillo, the best weapon of stunning a guy, right there. There it is. Oh, it says one, it's landing, it's being effective, it's doing that open to the straight right. Whether Trujillo knew it or not, and hopefully in his good corner knew it.
Class fighter. Yes, he is in line. Better be ready. Get that off track.
There's that right hand. There's only one guy, Augustus. By Augustus, right over the long jab and the slow jab, the extended jab of Trujillo.
In power connects. Augustus in the blue trunks with yellow trim was married last August. His wife Ruth. Ressa Augustus. He's been flying high. And here's some of the condition is seeing out of Emanuel Augustus. Desert Diamond Casino. Well-traveled Augustus.
You know, I know it's still a scorecards. I don't see how you can argue this to stem the tide, so to speak. The tide of Augustus. He doesn't know what to do. Country, well, right now, forward. He should box. He should counter. And he's a little frustrated right now. Here's Showboat. Hands down, fooling around. Trujillo should be a great champion in the studio there with Brian Kenny. James, Lights Out Tony, has been in this situation. He would say the same thing. Throw to the chest, not to the head. But don't allow Augustus to get into your head the way he's getting into the head right now with Trujillo. Trujillo doing nothing, just going defensive. In fact, you fight James Tony, you got to throw to the chest. Around for Augustus.
Yeah, he may have been clowning around, but you can mark it down on the scorecard pretty solid. Good work though at the closing moments by Trujillo. Stop.
In the last round was a good round for Augustus, landing some good shots, but at the end of the round, gets careless, drops his hands, goes straight back, and allows Trujillo to finish up with a real good flurry, some nice clean punches. With
61-30 edge for Emanuel Augustus. This is round 135. Alex said before that it's fine by him. He feels stronger with the added pounds. So early on,
I know we talk about all the good fighters that Augustus are arrogant. Defense when he has to, but as well as he can give you trouble, at the same can give himself. Defensively, he'll go dead in the water, give you spots to all of a sudden outwork him. And sometimes, with all his good head movement, sometimes he'll fool around, he'll get out of position. He'll make moves, and then he'll fall backwards out of position. Right now, though, he's in good position, and his experience is showing. He's choosing the right path. Yep, and then he doubled and tripled it up. Still not sure how to go about dealing with this fighter.
And they trade here at the end of the fourth round. Augustus.
Too little, too late for Trujillo.
Which current world champion above 100?
If they get it right.
He's had every kind of job for that big payday as a viable lightweight.
You know, the style of Trujillo. But don't forget the
Luis Villalta, of course, the horrible, tragic news passed away following the fight he had in Florida. And Trujillo, happy man and very excited, brought him back in August, and he saw no signs of anything going on.
See, that's what Trujillo has to start doing. You just asked James Tony, close round. This is a round he has to win now. Because in my scorecard, he's behind 4 rounds to nothing. He's got to win this round to not get a 10-8 round and fall really way behind early in this fight.
Well, in the fourth at all, Trujillo with a low blow and a point deduction. Good right hand from Emanuel Augustus.
His game, because Augustus is not a big banger, but Augustus doesn't know how to find one thing. Start banging downstairs to the body. Start taking some of that confidence away.
Of course, 6, Alex Trujillo, but in total for Emanuel.
His feet up, he didn't want to step in Augustus.
This fight, take a look at the scorecard because Trujillo was given a deduction, a 10-8, a 50-44 fight, and we're almost at the halfway point.
To do, you can see it. His mindset is not there. He's not going to fight around. Augustus has been
slip away, was bound for the Olympics. He got into an argument.
96, of course, and that teammate, Miguel Cotto, who is now up front as the best prospect of
Rico, former great junior featherweight and featherweight champion of the world.
Leading, mixing it up real well. Trujillo still bottle away from Augustus. Start banging there. Left hook to the body. Can't throw one at a time with Augustus. Doubled up, tripled up, and see if all of a sudden you turn this thing around.
Let's check in with Brian Kenny and James Light. Emanuel Augustus, 168 to 110.
Upstairs, down.
And look at the smile, Teddy. Look at him, right now.
Have control. Tony's been in that position many times. When you have control in there, it's fun. It really is. It might sound funny to some of the people out there and say, how can it be fun being in that squared circle? But when you have control and you can do what you want with your opponent, you see everything coming, and you know you have that kind of ability, it's fun in there. Find one thing, and he's got to be consistent with it. I think he should really quadruple it up and really stay with it and see if he can get a position where suddenly he can get a little hope.
What a dose of derision from Emanuel Augustus. He is just mocking Alex Trujillo, and you can see the frustration with Trujillo.
Doing that with his hands down, that Trujillo doesn't all of a sudden catch him. Trujillo is so frustrated, he's not letting those hands. If for no other reason, he's found that he's had a lot of trouble catching Augustus upstairs to the head, and when he's thrown to the head, he's left himself open.
And Augustus, as if to say, guys, are you seeing this? Are you liking this?
One of the tips for Trujillo, which he obviously is not following, when Augustus is moving his head upstairs, you should be punching down. Nothing has worked.
Command, total control through 7 rounds. We told you 16, another round. Box just wrote me a note. He said, Nate Campbell.
And I believe he's a professional fighter. Guy that's in front of you. But he's lost 4 of his last 5. Just another night's work. How long?
4-1 in his just to get the draw. Last win was the fight we did, Teddy, back Carlos Vilches.
Emotionally, he's not in this fight. Even now, when there's clowning, okay, let it go. Just let all hell go and just see if I can find some way. He is so beaten that even now, when the opportunity just stares at him, shouts at him, right in his face, he's not confident enough to go forward and try. Ho, ho, ho! No. Against him a little bit with his showboating. You could see.
Do that for him.
Referee says, he said he hit me. He said, no, 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 you were wrong. And the crowd has turned against Augustus, but even with the help of the crowd, probably going to be too little too late for Trujillo.
Back to live action where you back.
Well, he's taken, obviously, this is not the first time we've seen it. It's the first time we've seen it. Keep this as professional as possible with Augustus getting go, but putting his hands behind his back is not the first time we've ever seen that defense with an outmatch.
Punches in round 8. You see there 17-7, 8 rounds. Well, Augustus he's had 19 of them. Trujillo only 4.
And Augustus has been 10 rounds of better. You know, nothing is a louder statement than what you saw at the beginning of this round. Here's a fighter Trujillo way behind. He needs any kind of opportunity to suddenly grab this fight. And he gets a guy in front of him, puts his hands behind his back, around. And what does he do? He just looks at him. He doesn't do anything. He's a guy that's defeated. He's still standing on his feet, but he's defeated as far as any kind of inclination of trying to do something to win.
That's an...
Augustus has given moments in the last few, but to get back where he can catch him, and maybe even when he takes a low blow, and Trujillo gets warned for it.
Second warning that has gone to Trujillo since being deducted. The beat goes on for Emanuel Augustus with loads of confidence against if he is full.
Beat many undefeated fighters. Depends which one shows up. Is it the guy that comes to
The Atlas' score.
that mentally, emotionally, physically. Even when Augustus gives him chances to do something, Trujillo is very tentative, very hesitant about doing anything. You could even see here, Trujillo not let, very, very unlikely, but you never give up hope. If you're a pro, no matter what, greatest traits of being a pro, Trujillo should be letting those hands go now while he has an opportunity.
You are watching our main event, Friday Night Fights from the desert alongside Teddy Atlas. And in the blue trunks with the yellow trim goes on, and here comes Emanuel celebrating the birth of his daughter Genesis.
Language on Trujillo, standing there with his hands out. Trujillo is so beaten. Plus, that as much as the headshots and maybe more. As
2 rounds left to go toward, maybe with the pounds of action between these 200 and...
You know, genetically, absorb more. Well, Trujillo was that way. He punches that he took some of those fights, some of those wars a few years ago. You figured, okay, he's finished, he's shot, and then he fights. But so many tough fights, we've seen him take so. And I gotta be honest with you, some fighters that have taken that many punches, their career is over. They're shop worn, they're done, finished. But Augustus is one of those guys that has the ability to endure.
4. Now 57 fights.
The corner of Augustus done a good job. Robert Campos, Frank James, Ronnie Whitfield. In the corner of Trujillo, former world champion Alex Pintor. Just doesn't know how to get Trujillo. Just can't get his charge to find any one thing that right now Trujillo should be doing is just using the jab, coming forward, and banging that left. Has been stopped 3 times in his career. It's not over yet. Good job, Ferraro.
And considering the amount of attention he's had to give to certain things, that's a big statement.
Yes, it is. And again, there's Augustus. That's one of the reasons why Trujillo probably never really makes a real run at it, even when he gets opportunities to. That body work with Augustus, that's keeping Trujillo out of this fight.
Left hand uppercut scores for Augustus as Trujillo tries to fight his way out of the corner. Augustus, much more though. Smash. Well, it has been in the world.
Any way he's going to do that is to pick the thing that you do the best. To pull one out of the fire very unexpectedly, you need your hope. Look at the body language. He's done it every way. He's done it by making it downstairs and upstairs. And that Trujillo has no apples. You're looking at him. The real body work that Augustus has punished him with all night long. Got out of the spirit and the body of Trujillo.
How to neutralize that left hook from Trujillo. We haven't
Fight, and he knows the only and hope lose. And yet, like he's looking down, he's the guy that has found no hope in that ring tonight. Forward. That notion is tonight.
Nearly 10 years. Teddy Atlas's scorecard.
And new IBA Junior Welterweight Champion, Emanuel.